Well, it's finals time. We've got Punjab taking on RCB tonight. Brilliant. And Anupam's already on the show. He's got a little question down the side there. Do you want to... Oh. Better keep that quiet. I don't know. A little bit of a technical issue there. I've just got my YouTube on there, so I can see all the comments on the big screen. But Anupam, is it going to be a high-scoring affair or a low-scoring affair? What do you want, Hoggy? I want a low-scoring affair because I love bowlers being on top, just like the last finals game between these two teams a couple of days ago. But we're going to talk about that. I've got Anupam and, Didier and Hashish on with me as well to talk about it. But Bangalore versus Punjab. RCB, Tim David might be fit. He's coming back from a hamstring injury. I would not bring him in right now. I'd keep Liam Livingston there because he gives you a little bit of option with the ball. And also, he's been playing the last couple of games, whereas Tim David coming back in, don't know if he's been doing the preparation beforehand. I just think that would be a huge risk, especially when you've got Hazelwood there coming back from an injury as well. You don't want two players there under a slight cloud, even though Hazelwood bowled well last time. And when it comes on to the Punjab team, I was very impressed with the way that they bowled against the Mumbai Indians. They changed it up. They worked the wicket out. They were going with their slower balls, the pace attack, Jamazin and Amazi and Ayesh. I just thought they were absolutely sensational with their change of pace. They are not the best bowling attack going around, but they were very smart the other night. Shashank Singh, you've got to watch your running between the wickets. He looked a little nervous, and he's got to control those nerves tonight. That's one person I'll be looking out for tonight. Waterer in the middle, he had a few chances last time, and it was great that he got over the Mumbai Indians because they got rid of him last year. They didn't want him back. Punjab picked him up, and he showed his true talent throughout the season. Hopefully, he has a good game. But Shreyas Iyer up against Hazelwood. This is going to be the biggest matchup of the game because Shreyas Iyer has been absolutely toppled by Hazelwood every time they've played against each other. And that's one thing that Shreyas Iyer has to get over. He can't slog his way out of it. What he's got to do is what he did against the Mumbai Indians, work through that tough period of Hazelwood and then take on the other bowlers because he's good enough to power away at the back end and put a formidable score on the board. That matchup, Hazelwood versus Shreyas Iyer, will decide this game. Now, I want to get on to our special guests here, the fans. One's from San Francisco, one's from Mumbai. But we're going to talk about the two retirements. Here we go. Ashish and Aditya. Aditya's from San Francisco. You go first, Aditya. How are you going?
Hi, Hoggy. Huge fan. Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm from San Francisco. I've been waiting to get on live with you for a while.
Yeah.
So good that it finally happened. I'm not the only fan here. My wife and a couple of friends back in India and another friend in Germany. We are all huge fan of yours. We've been following your cricket for a really long time. And thank you for having me today on your show along with Ashish.
Rightio, thank you very much. Hashish, how are you going?
I'm doing fine, Hoggy. I was waiting for this opportunity from a long time. So really happy to get going.
Rightio. Now, we're going to get straight into the cricket, and out the back end, we'll talk about your lives as well. But we want to talk about the cricket right now. And thanks very much, Aditya, and thanks to all your fans out there, or your family and friends as well, for supporting cricket and me as well. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, the big game tonight, Punjab versus RCB. You just heard me talk about Hazelwood, Shreyas Iyer. Is that the matchup that will make or break this game? I'm going to go with Aditya first.
I think so. I think Hazelwood is in top class form this season. He's been the strike bowler for Bengaluru. And I think Shreyas Iyer, as we all know, has had an unbelievable season this time around. And we know what he did in the semi-finals against Mumbai. And how he handled Bumrah. So I'm pretty sure Hazelwood against Shreyas Iyer is going to be, the talk of. It's going to be the game today. If whoever comes on top, I think is going to win their first ever season.
Yep,
I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be interesting. Let's see how it goes.
And what about you, Hashish?
I think so. Here, I think so. Punjab can become a little smart. They should actually shield Shreyas Iyer from the Hazelwood spell. And the English role, then I feel, is going to be very important. If English or the openers take down Josh Hazelwood, and if Shreyas Iyer bats after the spell of Hazelwood, I think so. It will be better for Punjab because, uh, to be honest, currently Hazelwood has the wood over Shreyas Iyer.
Yep, definitely. And I think you brought up a good name there, Inglis. Now, Inglis is from where I'm from here in Australia, Western Australia.
Yeah.
And I've seen him play so many important roles under extreme pressure. He's batted
Yeah.
as an opener here for WA. He's batted in the lower order where he's got over the line in tough situations. He's batted on green wickets and he's able to just handle those tough moments. For me, if I was Ricky Ponting, I'd be sitting there with my team and I'd be looking at Inglis and going, right, if you've got to face Hazelwood early on, you're the key to get through him, because if you can protect Shreyas Iyer from him,
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer can attack those other
Absolutely.
bowlers in Dale and Booby. And I think that's going to be the biggest partnership of this game, Inglis and Shreyas Iyer.
Yes.
What do you think?
I feel the same.
I think, yep,
Yep,
I think
yep.
Josh English is also in extremely good form. So I think it's going to be the top order of Punjab versus the bowling depth of Bengaluru. And whoever comes on top is going to definitely, win the game today.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the bowling attack that Punjab Kings have got. Vijak is the person I was trying to mention. I thought he
Yeah.
bowled extremely well the other night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
His first over was sensational because he's the man that was under pressure. He's the one that's got to fill the void with the other bowlers that have had to leave, especially Jamieson. And just the way that he handled the pressure was sensational. I had question marks over him. He makes me feel a little bit more confident for Punjab tonight. Jamieson, with his slower bowling and his extra height, was sensational as well. And they're really backing up Arshdeep Singh. So, and they've also got Stylness in there to bowl a few overs. And Chahal, if he can get that turn, it's going to be brilliant. But I still think, as you said, Didier, RCB have got the better bowling attack.
Yep.
But if RCB bat first, if RCB bat first, what total do you think they would have to put on the board?
I think they have to at least score 230 anywhere. I think the par score is 205 to like 210. Like as you say,
210.
Ahmedabad has seen huge first innings, total this season. So I think it's important for RCB to score, more than par score. I
Yep.
think 230 would be a good score for them to, bowl at with the depth that Punjab has, with everyone, like the top order of Punjab being in extremely good form. So I think 230 would be definitely a winning total if RCB gets to bat first.
Yep. What about you, Ashish?
I actually feel that this could be 200 could be a good score today, considering it's a final. So there is a
Yep.
pressure of finals, or nerves will come into play. So I think so.
Yep.
It will be a bit lower than the normal league match.
Yep. I think if I'm looking at if RCB bat first, I think they can defend 180 with their bowling attack,
180.
with Hazelwood having the wood over Shreyas Iyer. But if Punjab Kings bat first, what total do you think Punjab would have to put on the board? I'd think with their bowling attack, I was going to say around about 215.
You're giving Aditya?
No, you go ahead, Ashish.
200 could be okay because I just feel that it's a final, so pressure on every batsman is going to be there.
Ashish, I love your answer there, and it's a good answer. Didier, what do you think?
I think so. I second Ashish. I think 200 would be a good score with the pressure of finals taking it could take a toll on even on the best of best players. So I think it's 200 would be a good total. If Punjab gets to bat first.
Now, I'm just going to go through a little picture of what players will be going through right now, just with experience with finals and so forth. And I'm like someone like myself, I was pretty energetic, and I was always trying to slow myself down around the hotel, especially if it was a day night, one day international, or a T20 game, because you've got so much time to think about it. So I try and get up early in the morning, have breakfast, and have a little snooze before the game. But I'd just be trying to slow myself down, calm myself down. And by the time I got to the game, I felt sleepish because trying to slow, I was just overthinking. I'd try and visualize, I'd try and meditate, I'd try and do everything that I try and do in normal games. But the final just had that extra pressure, and it just took so much energy out of you before you got there. But once the game started, you bowled the first ball, or you fielded the first ball, or you got the first one in the middle of the bat, you were away. But just that nervous energy beforehand just was sickening. Absolutely sickening. It was worse than going for before an exam in your uni degree, where you're thinking, right, if I pass this exam, I've passed my whole degree, and then I can get my job. It was just like that was the only thing. That's one thing that I really miss from cricket, those big moments where you really push to the hilt just to control your emotions before the game and then get them under control when you play. Now, can you picture that as observers from the sideline? And as fans, do you feel the same way when your team's in the finals? I'll go with Aditya first.
I think so. As I told you, I'm a huge Chennai Super Kings fan.
Yeah.
We won the cup. We won the cup 5 times. Yeah, the same thing, right? As a fan, if Chennai were to play in the finals, I have certain set of superstitions that I believe in. That I follow throughout the game, and I do that all the time, especially when Chennai plays in the final, because I don't know, I have followed it. I followed it through for a really long time, and whenever I followed it through, Chennai has ended up winning the IPL. So I do understand, fans, they do get nervous, and it all depends on how they handle the pressure, as much as how the players handle the pressure on the field. And I think whoever handles the pressure well, who's calm and composed, will end up coming up at the top.
Now, can you just go through your superstitions?
Yeah, for
While you're
sure.
watching
I sit in the same spot on my couch. I pretty much don't move. And as I told you, one of my other friends, who's also a fan of yours, he used to live in the US now. He moved to Germany. So every time when when CSF Chennai has been in the finals, the times that we did not win the cup, whenever I was on the phone with him, for some reason, at a very crucial juncture, CSK ended up losing wickets. And I made it a point, the next time, if at all CSK ended up coming into the final. So that same thing happened in 2023. So I did not. He kept on calling me because he knew that I believed in certain superstition. So I never spoke to him. The only time I picked up the phone was only after Chennai won. So that's some of the few things that I follow. I sit on the same spot. I don't talk to certain people. I just keep everything to myself. I just keep praying I just keep praying, making sure that Chennai ends up coming up at the top.
And what's your friend's name over in Germany?
Ishwar.
Ishwar. Now,
Yes.
Ishwar,
Yeah,
when
he's a big-
Ishwar,
he's a
when
big-
CSK,
Uh-huh.
when CSK are in the final next, make sure you don't ring Aditya, especially in those crucial moments. And pity it's for technology, because it's a free WhatsApp call. If you were back in my day, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, you would have had to put the phone in a phone call in there, and it's costing you 20 cents a second. So those overseas calls, they were very expensive. So technology these days, you're going to have to turn your phone off, idiot. You're going to have to turn your phone off. But Harshish, what about yourself?
I had no superstition as such, but I was very nervous watching 2 days ago when Mumbai were facing, and especially when Bolt dropped that catch of Vadera.
When Bolt dropped that catch, how did you react?
It was not a good reaction at all, because that was a very, very tough catch, I would say. It was not an easy. People do make out it was an easy catch, but at that standard, it had to be taken for Mumbai's sake.
Yeah. Did you yell out the TV?
Yeah, absolutely. When the catch was dropped, I was very furious. And one superstition I have is that I generally wear one type of jersey. on the Mumbai Indian match.
Yeah, right. So you did? Could the neighbours hear you yelling next door?
I'm not sure. No, it was not that
Come on,
loud.
be honest. Be honest.
No, no, no.
I
I would have
remember.
to confirm it with the neighbor then.
We've got Australian rules football here. Okay, it's a bit like everyone knows Australian rules football now in
Yeah.
India. Well, most people do, but my team, when I was a lot younger, I'd sit there and yell out the TV. Anyway, my mum and then my wife would say, "Why are you yelling out the TV? You're not going to change your decision." And then the next time I got up, I started yelling out the TV. I'm going, the only people who can hear me is my neighbours here in Perth. And I'm not making 1 ounce of a difference here, just screaming at the TV. But I was recorded as well, yelling at the TV, and it was quite embarrassing. I wish I had that recording. I'd love to throw it out there because, this is one thing that I hate about social media as such. Everyone sees the good side of me. They don't see the bad side of me, and you can hide it. And I have my flaws. And I remember my wife and I went for a holiday over in Europe, and we're having a little bit of a barney. We're walking along, and then there's this beautiful scene, and we take a photo, both of us happy as Larry. You put it on there, and this is a great spot. We're having a wonderful time. As soon as it's sent, we're back into each other again, just over some meal that we just had. I don't think I liked it. I didn't want to go there, and yeah, it was. I felt embarrassing how you just put a photo up there of you being happy, but you were virtually miserable in that 20-minute period. It just frustrates me. I like to be able to share my ups and downs a bit as well. So I like to be out there. But going back to this, going to the Mumbai game the other night. Okay, it's so tough out there. Courtsy dropped the catch with Gujarat Titans against Mumbai as well.
Yeah.
Bolt dropped that easy catch, and you could see Bolt. He was stunned by it. But as a fan, you get so frustrated because you think that's such an easy catch. But I can promise you, as the ball's coming there, you're going, right, I've got it. And as soon as you think, I've got this game, I've got this moment for my team, you've just taken that split second off it, and that's the difference between actually taking it or not. But then there's the other side of it as well, where you can be sitting there underneath it, you're going, don't drop it. Come on, you got to win the game for the team. So trying to have that balance between those two thought processes of one, the fear, but the other, the overconfidence, is so difficult. And I thought Courtsy was overconfident, and I could see a little bit of fear on Bolt as he's taking it when the hands were a bit lower. And you could just see, oh, geez, I should be a little bit closer here. I should be in a better position here than what I am. So as a fan, you saw it going, and could you see him dropping it before it went to his hands?
I thought Bolt is a pretty safe fielder, and he has taken some outstanding catches during World Cups. So I thought he might take it, but it was not to be. And that is the beauty of cricket.
Yeah. What about you, Didier?
I did not watch that game. Unfortunately, I was playing club cricket here. I play cricket here in San Francisco. I was playing club cricket when the Mumbai Indians game happened. To Ashish's point, all these players are expected to take such catches at during high pressure situations. If they end up dropping the catch, what happens. The batsman that they end up dropping the catch of, he ends up scoring big, and that is going to make the difference, between a win or a loss. So I'm pretty sure, like even in finals tomorrow, today when the final happens, I'm pretty sure, all the fielders should be at the top of their game, not get nervous. I know it's easy for me to sit here and talk and say all of this, but playing game at the highest level, playing day in and day out, all these players are expected to take catches during such pressure situations. And I hope like whatever catch that comes to any of the players, they end up catching those catches and and making sure that their team comes up on top.
you're exactly right there. And as you're speaking there, making sure that you're on top of your game, it takes me back to Australian times, and it's not such a prevalent series. This one that we're in Holland, Pakistan, India, and Australia were there in Holland. And someone was telling me how we train totally differently to Pakistan and India. So we were very intense. It was like match scenarios. We were into each other. And, there'll be times there where the fast bowlers like Michael Kasprowicz. Do you remember Michael Kasprowicz?
Oh, yeah.
He came in the team and he bowled me a bouncer and nearly took my nose off. And he would be sort of sitting there mid-pitch. The next one's going to be even worse. I'm going for you. I'm going for you. And that's how we train. We train with high intensity because we're trying to push the boundaries higher than the pressure that we would have out in the game. And if we weren't doing anything in the nets, or we weren't around that where we were participating in that actual training session, we'd be off doing running skills or fielding skills and so forth. So every training session had a purpose to it, and we're trying to improve and trying to set the standard better than what the pressure we would have out in the game. Whereas India and Pakistan would sort of sit there, go out, have a nice leisurely net, then sit around and not push themselves. So I think one thing, if as a professional athlete or a cricketer coming through, you might want to play IPL, you might want to play for your national team. Take a leaf out of Virat Kohli's book. He pushed the boundaries, he pushed the envelope, he trained harder than what it would be out in the middle. He put so much pressure on himself in the training track so that when he came to the game, he was ready to handle any pressure. And that's the way you've got to perform. If you want to be an elite athlete, you've got to train to dominate. You can't just train to participate. You've got to train to dominate. So that's a great point that you bring up there. Now, we've got CSK and Mumbai Indians fan. Just quickly, Didier, because there's probably a lot of CSK fans that do listen every now and then here, but they're probably not out at the moment because they're not in the final tonight. But what do you think CSK have to do in the auction next year to turn things around to better their squad?
I'm going to be very honest here. I think they got some players that shouldn't be in the team. I don't want to get into any names, specific names, but I think certain players. I don't think they deserve to be in the team. I think they probably missed the trick during the mega auction that happened. They should have probably invested in some more younger Indian talents and probably groom them. Like how they groomed Ruturaj. So I think they missed the trick there. But I think towards the end of this tournament, they got Ayush Matre and they got Urvil Patel. I think those two guys looked like that they can play the long game. They were dashing, and I think they have a pretty good game to carry from what they did from their domestic season. So I think they should probably invest a little bit more on these youngsters, and probably some of the players that got more chance than they deserve should not be brought back into the team. And I think, I shouldn't be saying this. I think it's time for Dhoni also to see what he wants to do. Coming next season, I'm one of the biggest fan of Dhoni, from the time he started playing, and I think he's also come to during this season, where he was not able to convert those starts that he had during the initial phase of the tournament. So I think probably he might have to think about how he wants to bat and where he wants to bat, even if at all he has to be in the team. But I think if they plan up with all these things in mind, because Dhoni is not going to be there for the next say 2 or 3 years from now, so they should act, they cannot be dependent on Dhoni forever, so they have to start planning more into investing in a little bit more youngsters, also getting some more good bowling attack into the team. And I think that would definitely bring back the old CSK, and and hopefully we are able to cross the line next time.
Yep. I reckon the players that you said, they totally agree with you there. I think they've got to keep Brevis. Brevis was sensational.
Unbelievable.
They were very lucky to pick him up out the back end, but Conway, Ravindra up the top of the order, opening the batting. They were disappointing. They've got to get rid of at least one of them.
Yes.
They can't have both of them in the team. And I just thought, just that middle order, having Jadeja coming in at number 4 like they did is disappointing. And I think if Dhoni's playing, he's got to be batting in the top 7. He can't be batting down 8 and 9. You can't be wasting resources like that in T20 cricket. Absolute legend of the game. He's got the best record as a leader in the competition. Rohit Sharma might be a bit better than him. But he's got to make that decision for the future of CSK. And they can't just have him out there as a marketing ploy either. If he's coaching there, if he's in the coaching staff, he's around, people are still going to have that love for Dhoni there. So I think they've got to make a tough decision there. And I think MS is the one. Ashish, Mumbai Indians. I thought they were a very well-balanced team.
They have to start better. The tournament has to start better. They cannot be losing so much at the start, because eventually that cost them the top 1-2 position.
Yep. Definitely.
And that is very important in IPL.
Yeah, they don't need to make any changes, I don't think. I was very happy with Jakes and Rickleton there. I think they've got good balance in their bowling attack. The only worry is Boomer is not fit, then it sort of weakens their bowling quite quickly. Yeah. Go on.
And I would also like to say they need a good swing bowler, because if you play at Wankhede, you require a good swing bowler. And Deepak Chahar's option they will have to find pretty soon.
Yeah. I think I'd like to give Deepak one more year at least.
Yeah. But he's injury prone.
Yeah, very injury prone. But I think with their setup and when Boomer is playing and you've got Hardik Pandya there as well, I think Chahar and Bolt are perfect opening options, because the new ball swings. If it's not swinging, then you've got a little bit of depth there with Hardik Pandya and Boomer, as well as your spinners. So you can afford to have the team that they've got there. I don't think they really need to make any changes there. Dyer, D-H-I-R, Dyer, I was very impressed with him. And looking at his averages, he's starting. I'm not worried about his history. I'm worried about what I see right now. I think I could see him playing a pivotal role, batting higher up the order next year. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, even him and Tilak Verma. I feel Tilak Verma at number 3 is a perfect player.
Yep. Tilak Verma. Yep.
Tilak Verma, because I feel he played for India also as an opener, and if you play him in power play, he will make he can score 100.
Yep. Do you think Rohit Sharma should hang around for a bit longer?
Around 1 year. 1 year he can play. Because as a super sub, as an impact player, he can play.
I did hear you saw the little cheekiness in that.
I think just following up on what we were talking about, Dhoni and Rohit Sharma. I think the sentiment that Indian crowd or Indian fans carry is that like all these are like gods. Like Rohit Sharma, Dhoni, they all have like god-like status in our country, like with huge fan following. And I know we all want them to play forever, but that's we got to be realistic, and we have to be honest about how they're playing. I think Rohit Sharma had a pretty good season in the second half of the tournament. I think the times that he scored 50, Mumbai ended up winning those games. If he still has the hunger in him, and if he still thinks that he can score quick runs, and probably to Ashish's point, maybe he can carry over for one more season. But if not, I mean, he's the best person to take the call. He should just call it quits and have somebody else take his place.
Well, Dhoni, Rohit Sharma, we've ended their careers today. Actually,
go on. What is your opinion, Hogg? I'm going to put you on the spot. Like, what do you like? Say if you were the coach of, say, Mumbai Indians, say if you were Jayawardena or say Stephen Fleming, what would you have Dhoni or Rohit Sharma do for the next season?
It depends in my status in Indian cricket, how long I want to be involved in it. Let's say if I was a Ravi Shastri, I'd be having a more forceful conversation with MS Dhoni. But if I'm a Fleming, I'll be looking at my future. Someone who's coached there for a long period of time, and leave it to Dhoni's devices to make that call. But if I was in the Mumbai camp, I'd say Rohit Sharma. I wouldn't even raise the question because he made that 80 and so forth. I'd let him go because there is still a few youngsters in there that can take his spot if he's not ready for it next year. So they've got a bit of depth, Mumbai Indians. Whereas on the Chennai camp, I'd be sitting there with MS Dhoni. You're captain now, or you've been captain. What do we need moving forward? What's the balance of the team? And I'd be asking him questions like that and trying to get him to make the announcement himself rather than pushing him into it. I wouldn't be that forceful. I'd be just going, right, what's the balance of this team right now that's needed? And hopefully he can see the bigger picture in that and see a better direction for CSK moving forward. Because I just think they've picked a team this year that just doesn't have depth in the batting. You've got Dubé there that, yes, he's played a bit for India, but he's always been hit and miss. He's had a couple of good seasons. But if he's not getting the starts out the top of the order, he's under pressure, then all of a sudden you've got to bat him in a different scenario than you'd like to bat him. So for me, you need another power hitter there. You've got Brevis. You need another opener, but you can't have Dhoni coming in out 8 and 9 because it weakens your bowling attack. That's how I'd go about it. Just quickly, I was going through the stats there. Virat Kohli playing 18 IPLs for RCB, hasn't won a flag yet. No title. But out of all the players that have played IPL cricket, I'll just go through the list. This is 80 games or plus or more, have only played for one team. Virat Kohli, 266 games. MS Dhoni obviously had to go somewhere else because of Chennai's thing. And Rohit Sharma didn't play for Mumbai. He got picked up from the
Deccan Chargers.
Deccan Chargers. But then you have Narayan coming in out 189 games, Pollard, Mumbai Indians, Boomer 145 games, Malinga 122 games, Bradranath from CSK 95, and Parag 88 games. So we've had how many years of IPL now?
I think it started in 2008. About 17 years.
2008. So that's 18. Yeah, nearly 22 years. Is 22, 24? No, not 22. How many years?
17 years.
17 years. Yeah, so this is the 18th year, I think, because they said 18 years for Virat Kohli there. So Virat Kohli playing that many games, is this one aspect of the IPL with the mega auctions and so forth where you don't have that loyalty? I just want to raise this question right now as we go into the final tonight with Virat Kohli's loyalty and his RCB fans' loyalty. Do you think the IPL can change things a bit so that there's more loyalty from players in teams, so that you create a stronger culture? I'll go with you, Aditya, first.
Yeah, I think what I think definitely IPL can bring in some changes, so that players stick to one team instead of switching between teams, and I think the owners of the different IPL teams should also take that into consideration if they're trying to build a team in the longer run, and they want to win more trophies, and I think bringing that sense of loyalty, whether giving a particular player that importance of whether you have to talk to each of these players, see where they come from, what they actually want to do, and give them that freedom of how they want to take that career within a particular team, and also work in conjunction with the coach, the support staff, making sure that that all the players get the sufficient amount of support that they need, so that that they are confident. I've seen speculations, and I've seen videos where owners from teams get onto the face of a big player like say KL Rahul or a Rishabh Pant, which is not needed. Like that's going to break down their morale. They're not going to be able to perform at the highest level of what they do, and what they can actually do, if the owners and as well as the support staff give them that freedom as well as that confidence, hey, go it's your team. You make sure that that you perform well. Also make sure that that you rally around the people in the team, making sure that they also perform to their fullest potential. So that way, bringing that sense of confidence, bringing that sense of loyalty, within each player would definitely go a long way. And also make sure that all of these players remain loyal and stick to the team that they actually want to play and win trophies for.
Yeah, exactly right. Love it. Love what you said there, Ashish.
I think so. Domestic players can play for their domestic teams. Like for example, Ayush Matre, who started his IPL career, could have played much better for Mumbai Indians.
Yep.
So that is what I feel, that domestic players should be given an opportunity to play for their teams so that they understand the culture much better.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Exactly
uh,
right.
because the
Yeah,
top
I love
players
it.
anyway can manage.
Yeah, I love it. I just look on the feed here. Guyana, Harsha, what do you think about Phil Salt's absence in RCB's chances? Well, you need Salt out the top of the order, I think, but that's that. Is Salt not playing tonight? I thought he was staying.
He's playing, huh?
I don't
I'm
think
pretty sure he was playing. Yeah, he's playing.
he's there. Okay.
Yeah, Salt's playing, because if Salt wasn't playing, you'd definitely be going for Punjab Kings 11. But I think the biggest thing there, Liam Livingston and Tim David are. I wouldn't bring Tim David in for Liam Livingston, because Tim David's been out of it for a while now with that hamstring injury. You're better off going with someone who's fit, even though he hasn't been performing. But Liam Livingston can offer you something with the ball. Do you both agree? Did you first?
I think Tim David should not play. They should stick to Liam Livingston. He can offer some leg spin if at all it comes to that. And I've seen Liam Livingston take crucial wickets at crucial junctures of the game. So like I'm pretty sure they should stick to Liam Livingston and not take Tim David. As you said, Tim David has not been in the mix of things for a while now. And asking him to start off in the playing 11 on a final could be it could work out, or it could backfire totally for RCB. So I think they should stick to Liam Livingston and make sure that they have the same group or the same team that played the quarterfinals against Punjab.
Yep. And with Shepherd batting out number 7 as well, you've got that extra depth, and Pandya coming in out 8, you've got enough depth there. So stick with Livingston. I agree with you, Didier. Harshish, come on, you've got a different opinion.
No, but I think so. I think so purely on merit and performance in this IPL. I think so. Tim David should come back and Livingston should go, because Tim David has those performances behind him, and if he's fully fit, he could just come out and score a 50 of just 20-21 balls and change the match.
I absolutely love it how you've got a different opinion to me and Didier, and that's what I love about having 2 guests on rather than 1. There's a little bit of disagreement. Beautiful. Now, hang on. You guys have got a few questions for me, so we better get into that, because it's been 45 minutes now. So let's get through that quickly. I'll go with Chennai Super Kings first, Didier, because you've had a harder run of it than the Mumbai boys this year.
Yes, I do have few questions. Hoggy, I've made a note of it. I'm always, wanting. I always wanted to ask you this. Why do you twist your tongue after bowling? Is it a superstition or just a Brad Hogg trademark habit that you do after every ball?
Oh, I've got to be clean here. My tongue's always been out when I'm concentrating. Apparently, the doctor pulled me out of the womb by the tongue. So, look, it's just something that it's always been there when I'm concentrating. Teachers at school knew whether I was focused or not by just looking at my tongue. I'd be writing away as it was. There was a time there where I was training with the state team here, West Australia. We're in the nets, and we're just warming up type scenario, and they said, right, let's try and bowl with your tongue in. So I'm trying to bowl with my tongue in. I was hitting the side of the net, the top of the net, hitting the toes. I could not land one on a good length. So it's just one of those things which is for balance. And when you're playing Aussie rules football over here, you know how violent Aussie rules football can be. It's funny
Very
because
physical, right?
yeah, very physical. And I was a little bit cheeky, but I was small, and there was always the quick jab and so forth. And people could not believe that I could not. I didn't bite my tongue. I don't know. My tongue just had a mind of its own. It knew that it was in trouble, and it'll just be like a tortoise's head. Whenever something hostile's coming, it would just go back into its shell. So, Ashish.
Yeah, my question was basically why do IPL teams do not make use of spinners? For example, in this Mumbai versus Punjab match, Mitchell Santner only bowled 2 overs for 14 runs. And when the
Yeah,
other
I just think.
bowlers, fast bowlers, were going
Yeah.
for 20 to 25 runs, they should make use of the good spinner.
I totally agree with you there. I think sometimes too the captain might just get overawed out of a certain situation and think, right, I've got to go to my best bowlers or my quick bowlers. This player looks as though he's going to size up my spinner, and it's probably overthinking the matchup of who they're going to play. So if you're playing Shreyas Iyer, you'd probably try and take the spinner off. But when Punjab was bowling, Chahal was bowling against Sky, and
Sky, yeah,
Sky loves spin. And if I'm looking at Chahal bowling to Surya Kumar Yadav, I'm thinking Surya Kumar Yadav is going to pound him most days. But
yeah.
he just bowled a little shorter. Surya Kumar didn't want to come out of his crease. He was sweeping him, got on top of him. And Mitchell Santner, totally agree with you, could have been used a lot more. I still
Because
remember one game. Yeah, go on.
I just feel that Topley over, where Shreyas Iyer tonked him for 3 sixes, that over could have been given to Mitchell Santner. Fair
Yeah.
enough, if Santner gets hit for 3 sixes, I am fine. Then you have no options. But now, when you see at the scorecard, you just feel you missed a trick there by not giving Santner one more over at least.
Yeah, and I just think the one thing that I loved about Shreyas Iyer's innings there, he didn't hit a six until that particular moment, and he was just
Yeah,
playing, and then Topley came on, and he just said, right, this is where I've got to amp it up. He's my man. I'm going to go after him, and that was a bad matchup for Mumbai Indians, and I totally agree with
yeah.
you there. Yep. Good observation there, Harshish. You should be on the side. You should be on the bench with Jar Wardner on the bench next year, just telling Hardik Pandya what to do. Get rid of
Yeah.
Sachin.
I cannot get rid of it.
No. We're
Nobody
pushing the
can.
boundaries there. I won't be welcome back in India if I keep that up. Aditya, what's your next question?
Going back to your playing days, Hoggy, do you think the Aussie team that you were part of, was unfairly labeled as arrogant, or was it just the price of being a dominant team?
I think there were moments where we deserved to be called that. I think there were moments when we weren't deserved to be called it. When we were deserved to be called it was when we got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
But generally, most of the time, probably 90% of the time, we just trained hard, we performed hard, and we set higher standards. And when we slacked off a bit, that's when the results turned around. Look, the 2003 World Cup team that I played in, that particular squad that I played that year, I don't think you could get a better bunch of guys, a better team unit at international level. Everyone was switched on for the cause, willing to work hard. There was no slacking off or anything like that. And yeah, it was just your typical definition of what an Australian is. So if you look at through the history of Australia, it's all about being resilient. It's all about standing up for your mates when the chips are down. That's what that 2003 World Cup was. We had that much respect for each other as well. So let's say I wasn't pulling my weight, Andrew Simons or whoever it would come up and go, Hoggy, come on, pull your head in. You're better than this. Come on, pull your head in. You're letting the team down. And you would take that as, right, I'm not up to my standard. I've set my own standard. the team's got a standard as well, and you've got to play to that. So we really helped each other out in keeping each other motivated and keeping each other on the toes. So I can understand how people see it from outside, but within the inside, it wasn't. And I'll quickly share a story too. The reason why, when you talk about arrogance, we're over in South Africa for the 2003 World Cup. All the security detail that we have there, we're in a hotel room, and waiting to get to know which team they're going to go to. Everyone in that security room didn't want to be with Australia. At the end of the tournament, everyone wanted all those security people that weren't with Australia wanted to be with us. And I still remember a guy, as I was getting on the bus leaving, one of the security officers, he just said, this is just sensational. We didn't want to leave each other. Yeah, we're just tight. And that just shows what sort of team we actually were. We the people that were sort of with our detail, the liaison officers from South Africa, the security, they're all part of the whole shenanigans as well. They'd be going out with us when we're going out on the town, just relaxing. They're just part of everything. Team meetings, that they are involved in most of that as well, unless we're talking about something that was a little bit more confidential that you didn't want out. It was just such a close unit. So it's a good question, and I can see the yeses and the nos for both of it. And you could probably you bring up a situation. Well, you're arrogant there, and I'll probably say, yeah, we probably were.
Again, it's
So,
perspective.
yeah.
It's perspective changes from person to person.
To person.
And you answered it pretty nice, Hoggy. So
Yeah. And look, we've got Sri Sai tonight playing. I absolutely love watching Sri Sai. And but sometimes I sit there and go, right, there's a little bit of ego there. It's over ego, and it annoys me at some stages. But then I go, hang on, he's playing. He's on centre stage. He's got to show his presence. He's got to do this. And once I put it back into that, I go, yeah, pull your head in, Brad. Come on, let him go and enjoy what he's doing. It's a bit like Hardik Pandya. When Hardik Pandya gets his strut on and that confidence, when he was playing for Gujarat Titans and he was leading the team there and it was something new, he owned that. He absolutely owned that. Whereas with Mumbai, because Mumbai has got more history, it's not a new team, and he's taking over from Rohit Sharma, he doesn't have that ownership as much, and he doesn't have that that walk about him where he's actually owning the role. You can see a little bit of defensiveness there. And Harshish, do you agree with me on that as you ask your next question?
Yes, I agree to an extent. Yes.
Yeah.
My next question is, do you think that Punjab might have a slight advantage of playing in Ahmedabad 2 days before the finals, especially after they were thrashed by RCB in that qualifier one?
I think they do. The reason being is because you want to keep playing. You want to keep that momentum going. RCB have had a couple of extra days off. Yes, they've had the rest, but that rest can also push a little bit of overthinking. And I think if I'm looking at someone like Shasing Singh and Wadara, who had a bit of luck, and also Priyansh opening the batting, and his partner, Prib Simran, I think those particular players are new to IPL. They're young in IPL cricket, and just playing that extra final is going to make them a little bit stronger, a little bit more resilient when it comes to that big stage. And that really brings up a big point too. Shashank Singh getting run out the other night, he should have been running harder. He knows that. And that's a good thing that's happened and they've got through, because all of a sudden it's, oh dear, I let myself down there, but I've got another opportunity. All right. So all of a sudden he's got that opportunity of turning things around. And I think he is going to be man of the match. He'll play a man of the match performance tonight. So, yeah, and as I've said that, I've just changed my mind who's going to win tonight. But anyway, you've got another point there?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what would have been Ricky Ponting's reaction after that run out of Shashank Singh.
Well, I'll put it this way: if it was an Australian team and I was walking back and I did that, I wouldn't be putting my eyes on Ricky Ponting.
Because I
Uh,
just saw one of his images. It
I'd
was
be
fun.
sitting there. I'd be walking to the back of the room and hoping that Ricky Ponting had cooled down before I've pulled myself out of the toilet block. You know how you can go into the toilet block and lock the cubicle? I'd be hiding in there for probably a good 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 2 hours.
It's good that Punjab won that match.
Yeah, very good that Punjab won that match for that particular reason. Adidia.
What's one piece of advice that if you were the coach of, say, Punjab or Bangalore, what's one piece of advice that you would give either of those teams before they got onto the field?
Look, you're going to feel the emotions. You're definitely going to feel the emotions. But when you feel a little bit overawed, just sit back, take a deep breath, and just ask yourself, what do I have to do now? What do I have to do now? So the two openers, what do I have to do now? Pre-Ange, I think the first game against RCB and Privis Simran, for that matter, I just felt that they were playing a slightly different game. I think Pre-Ange just looked a little more tentative. He was pushing out the ball rather than hitting through the line of the ball. So I'd just be trying to sit with him and go, right, you're good enough, mate. You're good enough. I'd actually be saying you're the best opener going around at the moment. You're the right man for this job tonight. But I'd sit down with him as well. I would have sat down with him after that game as coach and sort of said, well, what were you feeling when you were out there? And try and get him to remember that, then turn it around. What would you do differently if you had that moment again? And right, that's what you're good. That's what he said to me. And then before the game here, yesterday, or even the final before, right, okay, how you feeling? How are you going to play it today? Asking that question, and hopefully he gives the same answer of what he would have done in the previous game. And if he's done that, you know that he's half a chance to deliver that night, because he's telling that subconscious brain that he wants to play like this. So that's the way that I'd go about it. But when you're under pressure, what do I have to do now? So if it's Pre-Ange, what's Pre-Ange at his best? What does he do when he's at his best? What does Pre-Ange have to do now? They're the only things I'd concentrate on right now.
Got it.
Yeah, and it's a bit like when you're under pressure. I think I did a quick vlog the other day with Shreyas Iyer. You sometimes get time pressure, and that time pressure causes you to make decisions that you think that you have to make in a huge rush. Whereas you just sit there, take a deep breath, give yourself a couple of seconds, and get a good foundation. Then all of a sudden, that foundation starts the momentum to produce a good finish, and that's what Shreyas Iyer did the other night. And it's the same with Srisank. If he comes in tonight needing 15 off 5 overs, he's still got 2 or 3 balls where he can get used to the wicket, and then he can really power along, because he can find the boundary quite easily. And that's I'd just be trying to give them the confidence with that. And when it comes to the game, I'd be staying away from all the players unless they come to me. And I'll tell you a little story. I won't mention any names here, but I was doing some coaching for RCB in their second 11 competition. It was a T20 competition before the main event, and they were just trying to help the spinners out. And I was on the boundary, and one of the spinners had just bowled an over, and he comes over to me and he goes, "Hoggy, what do you reckon I should do next over?" I said, "Well, what do you want to do? What do you think you should do?" And he was talking away, and I'm just going, "Oh my God, he's going to get pogoed here," in my mind. And I said, "Right, that sounds good. Just go and do it." And he got 2 wickets. So I think especially in finals, even if you make the wrong decision, as long as the first decision and you're committed to it, it's better than being second guessing yourself and having 2 things go through your mind. because if you execute the wrong decision and you're committed to it, you still have a better chance of success than going with the second or third option half-hearted.
True.
So, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Ashish.
Yeah, my next question is a hypothetical one. Suppose you are playing tonight versus
Yep.
RCB as a Punjab player, and in 5 overs they score 45 with that and salt, and you have been asked to bowl the sixth over. What would your strategy be?
What my strategy be? Who's been dominating the first 5
Virat and
overs?
salt. Virat and salt.
Yeah, but who is
Virat,
Salt?
especially Virat on strike.
Virat's on strike. If Virat's on strike, I'd be sitting there. I'd be slowing the leg spinner down, and I'd be trying to get him to come to me, and I'd try and get him out with the wrong one, stumped, bring my keeper into the game. So that's how I go with Virat Kohli. He doesn't really want to sweep as well, and I don't think he would sweep me because I like to have a bit of overspin on it, and I'll bowl a little bit shorter. But he'll be looking to push me down the ground, so I'd be going a little bit slower with him, and I'd probably even bring my mid wicket a little bit closer, thinking that it might turn a bit tonight as well, a little bit closer and a little bit straighter, and trying to get him to sort of push in that region, and hopefully the ball just holds up and I get a catch there as well. So that's how I'd bowl to Virat Kohli. If I was bowling to Salt, I'd be trying to bowl a little bit shorter, trying to get him on the back foot, getting to play that hook shot. And he'd be one bowler that I'd actually bring the flipper into play in a T20 game. Generally, I wouldn't go to the flipper in a T20 game, but on a situation like that where we need a wicket and we need to take the threat away, I'd make that calculated risk and try and set him up for the flipper.
Good answer.
Yep. Perfect. Didier.
Yeah, Hoggy. So speaking of your on-field presence, I've always been fascinated by the incredible spinners you shared space with. So you came into the Aussie side with, Stuart McGill and Shane Warne at their peak. So how did you find your space in that legendary spin lineup, Hoggy?
Well, I only played a couple of games with Stuart McGill and only a couple of games with Shane Warne. But there's one thing, people say, if you're in a different era, you might have had a different opportunity. Well, if I was in a different era, I might not have played spin because I wasn't bowling spin till I was 22 years of age. So that opportunity might not have happened. But at the end of the day, it's an honour to be able to play through that period and to be challenged with those two particular players and still find my little niche in the game. And I did a talk the other night with a group of kids, and basically you never know where your life's going to be. You never know where your journey is going to be. I'm lining up for Western Australia batting, and I'm bowling medium paces in the net, and someone comes up, what about bowl some left arm Chinamans to help your teammates because you're up against one the next day? I've never seen a left arm Chinaman, never heard of a left arm Chinaman. And then all of a sudden, that's my niche to fit in these teams. So, there's things, if you want something, and I always said to myself that I'm going to play for Australia since I was a youngster. I am going to play Test cricket for Australia. It doesn't matter. I don't care how I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. And I just tried everything, and it just happens. So I think the moral of the story there is, you want to be challenged in life. If you're challenged in life, you're growing. You've got your big goal, you've got your big picture, you want to hit the moon, but you've got little steps to go there. But that road's not going to be there. So, Didier, you're probably born in India, now you're over in San Francisco, your mate's over in Germany. You're taking a journey a bit like my cricket as such. And it's great courage that you've done that, because you're doing something wonderful for your family, for yourself. You're trying to grow. It's a brilliant thing that you're doing. Ashish, he's in the designs, logo designs, but he's also written some books. What a journey that is. You know, you've gone out there, you've tested yourself, and I think that's what that's what cricket's all about. Your journey. I'm not worried. I don't want to see you as such and just sit there and talk about how good you are at the top. If I was talking to you guys, I'll be going, well, what made you do that? What, you know, I want to know the story. I want to know the journey, because the story's better than the little celebration out the back end. Like 2 World Cups, yeah, whoop-de-doo. The work that you had to put in there is so much special, and the people that have helped you is so much more emotionally enjoyable than just having those 2 World Cups. The 2 World Cups are great. That's the egotistic thing. But the hard work to get there is more enjoyable. And I think if I hadn't won the 2 World Cups, I still would have, I'm pretty certain, 100% certain, or 99% certain, I'd be sitting there going, I still had a pretty successful career. I played in that World Cup. We got in the finals, or we did that. But I pushed myself to the limit. And that's what life's all about. That's a bloody good question. Yeah, I love it. Archie? Hope you didn't mind me ranting on with that.
You gave a pretty interesting answer.
It's a wonderful experience.
Yes, it was a great experience. Whatever you shared.
Ashish, you got another question there?
Yeah. Which is your best moment of IPL 2025 so far that you have enjoyed, and the reason?
I think the Punjab RCB game, because they both finished on top. This is in the final just recently. And Punjab Kings looked as though they were well out of their depth, and they turned around the next game against Mumbai, who I thought were going to go through and play RCB. I think Mumbai, out of all the teams right now, have got the best team on the books, and well done to Punjab Kings to get through there. So Punjab Kings RCB. That social media post where if RCB lose tonight, the wife's going to leave the husband. Well, the husband would have been hoping tonight that Punjab weren't playing RCB, because it's going to get worse. If RCB don't win tonight, I'm taking everything. So that's probably the moment for me. I think the other moment is seeing Noor Ahmed really bowl well out of CSK. You know, I don't think he really has much variety as such. He's not a big turner of the ball, but what he's got was sensational. He's probably, with Brevis, the picks from CSK. That's probably something that shone from me as well. Yeah, and the other thing is watching Satarasan back. Probably even with Gill, but Satarasan just shows you that you don't have to be a big hitter to be a power force in this competition. He's able to just to time the ball, manipulate the field, and find the boundaries with ease. Very hard player to bowl to, and I'm looking forward to seeing his development moving forward. Yep. Yeah. No real moment stands out apart from those particular players. Yeah.
Speaking of Sudarshan, what's your take on his Test cricket in England?
I think he should be opening over there in England. I think he's got the temperament. I think he's got the technique. He shows that he can play the ball late as well, and that's probably what you need on a moving ball that seems around. And look, if I'm going to take a risk on a player, I'd be definitely taking a risk on him now. And I think with Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma not there, you're in a building phase right now. Go over there and give him the opportunity. Yeah,
Right.
Give him the opportunity.
I think he's going to have a great season, Hoggy. Sai Sudarshan. I think he can open the innings, or he can play 1 down, 2 down, depends on where the team wants him to play. Now I think it's going to be Gambhir's team now that Kohli and Rohit Sharma are gone. With Shubman Gill, captaining the Indian Test team. I think Gambhir is going to have more say on the team combination, who gets to bat first, who gets to play in the middle order. So, like since Sai Sudarshan has that flexibility, I think he's definitely going to have a good
Good
season
future.
Yep.
series in England. So let's see how that
Yep.
pans out. And I'm going to root for him because I'm from the same state as his, from Tamil Nadu. So I'm pretty sure I want him to have a great first series, as well as I want him to play for the longest time for India. So let's see how that goes.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. Fingers crossed for him.
Yeah.
Yes, fingers crossed for him. So,
Yeah.
Hoggy, a couple of rapid fire questions for you. No overthinking, just quick hits from you. Worst roommate on tour?
Probably myself. No, Paul Rifle.
Paul Rifle. Okay.
Well,
He would sleep all day.
Uh-huh.
He'd sleep all day. I'd go down to breakfast, come back, and I'd go into the toilet, and I'd put my pillow in the bath and lay in the bath and read, so I didn't wake him up. And he didn't realise that I was doing it until one day he came in to do a bit of a pee, and my foot was hanging out of the curtain in the bathroom, out of the bathtub.
That's funny. Most overrated batter that you bowled to?
Most overrated batter that I bowled to. That's a very, very tough question, that one. Can I be cheeky with this one?
Yeah, you can. It's up to you.
Yeah. Brian Lara. The reason being, I only got Tendulkar out once, and I think I got Brian out about 6 or 8 times. What were you thinking, Brian?
If not a cricketer, what would Hogg would be? What?
I think I would have been on the farm, but I'll be honest with you. If I didn't pursue cricket and I just went straight on the farm, I think I'd be a pretty miserable person as such, because I didn't give it a go. And the moral of the story there is life there for, as we were talking about beforehand, to take your opportunities when they're there. Just go out there. If you believe in yourself, that's half the battle.
True.
True.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you right now. Retiring from cricket, you have a little bit of self-doubt there with things that you want to do, but you've got to go back to those cricket things and go, right, I wanted to achieve that with my cricket. Do I really want to achieve this? If not, do I need to do something different? So they're the lessons that I've got from cricket. But that's a bloody good question too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is there another quick fire one?
Yeah. Your cricket crush, past or present?
Sorry?
Your cricket crush, past or present?
My cricket crush, past or present? I reckon Malcolm Marshall.
Malcolm Marshall, that's a good one. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Nice. Any reason why you picked him?
Well, let's just wait, because I've seen Harshish got a question for me somewhere along the line, and I'll see what question he's got for me.
Sure.
Yeah. Because I'm hoping he asks this question now.
No, my question basically is, who is winning tonight? RCB or Punjab?
There was a question there with beach cricket. Who had the beach cricket one? Wasn't there a question with 5 beach cricketers that I'd play beach cricket with?
Oh, that was me.
Oh, right. I was waiting for that one. So
yes.
The 5 beach cricketers I'd have would be David Lloyd, because of his humour. Now, these are all guys that probably on walking sticks at the moment. Viv Richards, Desmond Haynes, Gordon Greenwich, Joel Garner, because he's still alive. Otherwise, I would have had Malcolm Marshall there. And, I've cheated here a bit, Jeff Dujon. Now, the reason being, going back to Malcolm Marshall was because when I was a youngster, I'd be sitting there watching the black and white TV screen at home, West Indies absolutely slaughtering Australia. And, Malcolm Marshall running in like he did, and I'd go out and act like Malcolm Marshall and run. And I thought that that action was quite good because you just ran through the crease rather than jumping in the crease. And I thought that saves your joints. So I stuck with that. So that's with Malcolm Marshall. All right. Now, Hashish, we'll finish on your question there. Who's going to win tonight? I think RCB have the better bowling attack, the better team on paper. I think Shreyas, Ricky Ponting having to play the next game and having that poor performance against RCB a week ago or 5 days ago will really strengthen them tonight, and they'll be up for the chase. So I'm going to go for the underdog tonight, Punjab Kings, and Shashank Singh to be man of the match.
Awesome.
Good choice.
How are you going to finish with that?
I feel ICB is winning with Virat finally winning an IPL.
Right. All right. Didier?
I think it's going to be Punjab. I'm a huge. I love Virat Kohli, but I'm a huge Shreyas Iyer fan, and I love Ricky Ponting. So I think, as you said, right, Punjab is the underdog for today's game. I'm pretty sure they're going to come out on top, and they're definitely going to give a payback for what happened 5 days ago against RCB. So it's going to be Punjab all the way.
Perfect.
I'm feeling Hazelwood might have a good day.
Yeah.
Hazelwood will have a good day as well. All right, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. Didier, Hashish, that was sensational. Good luck with the logo business, Hashish.
Thank you.
Didier, San Francisco, good luck over there.
Thank you, Hoggy.
With everything that you do, and make sure you pass on the love to your family and friends as well.
I will.
Sure.
Love the game of cricket. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys want to be like these two, just fill out that Google form and join me live on Hogg Out. Thanks very much, guys. Hogg.